Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the fight. This is not a fight. This is a live judging session of the ISO Challenge. Long time no see, and happy to see all your smiling faces. Like I can really see them. Please feel free to comment. Please let us know what you guys think of our nitty-gritty comments. Remember, we are not. We are only saying what we think of the photos. Don't take it too personal. This should be fun and not a fight. Okay, I don't make sense at all now. So if you guys can, please share the link of Facebook, and if you're watching on YouTube, please share that link on the groups and on Facebook if you want to. Obviously, you don't have to share it on Facebook because you'll see this video there. I've got a fluffy cat in front of me. It's nice and cold in Cape Town, and we are ready to kick things off. Today, we are going to do the judging of two challenges, of con and of win. And before we get to that, if you want to comment through Facebook and you want us to see your name, you should just give StreamYard. What is the word? You should allow StreamYard to use your name. There's a little thing in the description. Just follow that, and we'll be able to see who you are. And then on YouTube, if you're on my channel on YouTube, welcome. So today, we have a very special person with us. By us, I mean it's me and André. Hello, André.
Hey, bro. What's up?
Ja, je gaat ons alweer.
Lekker, man. It's been a while. I'm glad we can do it.
Yeah, I'm really, really glad. I actually missed it.
Yeah, me too, man.
And but we can speak about that now because I think it is just a good thing to not to let him stand in the wings much longer. Let's welcome, like he calls himself Timothy M, but Tim Moolman, a very good friend of ours. Hello, Tim. Welcome.
Hey, Timmy.
Hey guys, how you doing? How's it, André? How's it feel?
Lekker, bro.
Lekker.
How's life? Good to see your beautiful face.
Yeah. You're so kind. You're mixing together and everything. Yeah, it's quite something to be here. I won't kid you. This is quite a responsibility. I've been following the whole lockdown. I had a chance into some things into some of it, and it's been fantastic to watch. You guys have done an amazing job. Well done. It really has been an amazing experience to watch everything and see how much you've done and to see everyone's response to it as well. People have responded really, really well. And there's been, it's just been superb. I'm well impressed. So I'm flattered to be here. Are you sure you've made the right decision in choosing me to be here? Because the work that you
Let's find out.
Was I supposed to? Okay. Let's go.
So
I'm ready.
Obviously, we have Kirsten here. She says hellos. Hello,
Hey,
Kirsten. Welcome.
Hey.
And we have our famous Theron Goldman. Hello, Theron.
Hey, Theron.
And then Volma is also here. Hello, Volma.
Hello,
Welcome,
Volma.
guys.
You
just
see, like
before we
no
go
pressure
on,
straight away.
Tim, you are a brand new spanking dad. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
We really wanted to invite you earlier to be one of the judges, but obviously it's a little bit difficult with a small body, a small person in the house. But congratulations, and I'm sure everybody from the ISO group really,
Thank you very much.
really congratulate you guys and wish you a lot of healthy
You're never too old, right?
years.
Thank you. You're never too old, right?
So, Tim, quickly, if you can, in a nutshell, quickly tell us who's Timothy M.
Okay, so Timothy M. Tim Moolman. I'm a Fujifilm ambassador. First of all, let's just get that out the way. I don't feed trolls, and I saw the same. We're joking about brand issues. I saw the same brand issues when I was shooting with Canon 10 years ago with Nikon. There's always like some like gear debate, which to me is pointless. It's never about the gear; it's about what you're using. And so I started my photography I picked up a camera for the first time about 18, 19 years ago. I was in IT. I was 10 years old, so I was a very late starter. And thanks, Theron, Kirsten, I'm at 48. I'm very proud to have a baby boy in the house. I was very fortunate. I started my photography on the Isle of Man. I picked up a camera and a bunch of photography books when I moved out there. Taught myself the basics. I was fortunate to the nth degree because I got a job working for a company on the Isle of Man, and they taught me everything. I basically learned on the job. So within a year, I had photographed half the schools on the Isle of Man. I photographed weddings. I photographed the Isle of Man TT motorcycle race.
Oh, dude, that's insane.
Yeah, I did that. I did 6 years of that, and the Manx Grand Prix, which runs on the same circuit. I photographed pets. I photographed studio work. I did Child of the Year competitions. I photographed everything. So I was very fortunate because I got a very good grounding.
Did André win that Child of the Year competition?
Most beautiful baby, hands down. I'm not that old. So I was so fortunate. So by the time I left to set up on my own, I had a really good understanding of photography. I mean, I knew how a studio worked. I knew how school photography worked. And about 5 years ago, I burnt out creatively, and I needed to rethink my photography and rethink my approach. And I started to fall in love more and more with documentary photography. I did a bit of photojournalism in the past, and I loved that approach to photography, like a street photographer. Around the same time, I realized that my gear needed to shrink. I needed to simplify my gear, and at the same time, I switched to Fuji, using smaller cameras and less conspicuous gear. Allowed me then to shoot the way I do now. So now I've found myself pursuing documentary photography a lot. I love applying that documentary photography to wedding work because it makes me stand out. I don't do posing. I don't use lights a lot. It's far more natural and authentic to me. And I still photograph a lot of skateboarding as this old skateboarder. I love to still photograph skateboarding and BMXing. And the bottom line is, look, I haven't really worked much since March. The work is only starting to trickle in every now and then. But I shoot for cash, basically. I got to make a living, so I'll shoot pretty much any event that comes along. But my absolute love is any kind of documentary work. Yes. So I don't know how big that nutshell was, but that's where I am now.
Is there any place where people can go and see some of your work?
Yes, you can see everything on my my website is either timmoolman.com or timmoolmanphoto.com will take you there. And that's got my portfolio of everything from event work to wedding to skateboarding to event work like the Isle of Man TT. There's some motorbike race photographs and timmoolmanphoto.com. And then Instagram is the same, Tim Moolman Photo on Instagram, and yeah.
Awesome, man.
If some of the ISOs watching this could maybe post the links there in the comments, I think that would be appreciated. Guys, I think we can jump away, and while André is getting ready, the Lightroom ready in the background, what do you guys think? I'm speaking to Tim and André and the rest of you watching. Should I do a X video, or should we just release it? Because this is absolutely insane. There's 3 people who wants to stone me to death now with this competition.
Hey, you say stone to death. Are we doing X tonight as well?
Yes.
Everyone else
all the images.
There we go. We can get it out the way now. Let's carry on.
Let's see. If somebody has a cool idea, otherwise.
He is just throwing himself under the bus, man.
X.
So, and then future plans, we don't know. we don't know yet. It's something André and I still have to talk about. But we really, guys, if we say we are really busy, we're not bullshitting. It's actually we really struggle to find time. Tim had to cancel 2 braais already, and then we had to post.
Yeah, not because I had work, but because I've got no work. And then they say to me the one night, no, we can't. No, another night. Oh, no, I'm so busy. Another night. And I'm like going, what am I going to do?
Day is the wrong thing to say, not day.
Sorry, yeah. But I
Here we go.
Sorry, Pierre.
This is our first image. This is from the challenge con, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right. This was the entry by
Melissa Huneberg. Contour is the title. Over you, Tim.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I love black and white imagery. I just have a bomber. Here's my photo bomber, and then she's going to leave me alone to work. I love black and white imagery. I think the lighting is pretty good over here. Sorry, 1 second. This is the problem with
That's so cute, man.
I love black and white imagery. I love the tones in the image. I feel the crop to me somehow feels a bit uncomfortable. It's it's cut the bum off a little bit, and I don't know if it should have moved down a bit lower, perhaps. The lighting is great. It's maybe a little bit bright on top, so a highlight slider. Look, this is only my opinion, right? But the highlight slider could have saved a bit of that brightness on the top there, and if the light had angled slightly more, it could have shown a bit more of the leg. But who's got that pointer? Yeah. It's where's it going?
It's André.
I love the idea. I love the contour. It fits. The theme fits beautifully. It's just it feels a little bit bright, and the bum makes me feel the tension there by the bum being cut off feels weird to me. I think maybe even in this image, if you shot further back, left dark space above the contour and isolated the human form in the bottom of a big frame of darkness, and you've got the whole of the arms outstretched and the bum in that would have been power, because that would have been in this huge black frame. You would have had this beautiful curve at the very bottom, and that would have run true with the contour as a theme. But I like it. I think it's not washed out. There's texture in the skin. It's not blown out, even though I feel it's a bit bright on the top. Does that make sense, André?
Yeah, definitely. Look, man, this is actually, to see this image is so cool for me, because I know Melissa very well. She used to be my assistant. And I think Melissa assisted me for 4 years, dude. She then went on to a new journey. And for me, it's so amazing to see her actually submit something for the challenge. It's very good. She's a very, very good, very, very good photographer. I love this image. I do agree with you about the tones. The highlights are burning out a little bit. The crop, I agree with the crop, but I don't mind the bum cutting off a little bit, because I feel it creates tension in the shot where nudes are normally very, almost seen as landscapes, so I actually like the fact that there's more tension in this image. It makes it different to other nudes for me. One thing that just throws me, there's 2 things that bugs me, is the shape of the arm. The lighting is not working there, and it's starting to turn into something that it's not supposed to be. And then there is one little thing. I'm just going to zoom in here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able, like this little piece of the leg over here. That bugs me. Just that strong line and that little piece of the other side of the leg that you're seeing. But I mean, again, we're always nitpicking. But I do agree with you, Tim. If maybe it was this exact same shot, even cropped like this, but with and it's shot as a portrait with way bigger space coming up, and she's falling on a third. I think it added a lot.
I think what you just said about that little part on the leg there, imagine if that right arm that stretched out like that, if that arm actually came back and the hand was if the hand was resting on the knee, then you would still see her breast and nipple, but the hand resting there, they would maybe just close it off, and you would the arm wouldn't be disappearing away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does, man.
Because then you'd still get the value of the nude. You would still see the nude form. You'd have that shape, but that arm down there in the hand would just add a nice texture. Just under,
But I really love, because this image, it's got this black and white film feel to it. I really love, I'm like, everybody knows I'm not a big black and white guy, but you, on the other hand, you know this stuff.
Love,
There's something about it.
I do love it, I do love it. Not about knowing it. I'm trying. Okay.
Yeah,
what's
that's
next?
my fault.
Yeah, for me,
What do you think?
as a straight male, we can't like this. I mean, not the fact that I appreciate the female body, and I think the theme fits very well for this photo. I do agree about with this with the highlights a little bit too bright, and then, as always, when André's hawk eyes climbs into the photos, when he says the arm starts to become something that it's not, it suddenly starts to look like an ankle and a knee, and that little piece behind the leg. I mean, that's a attention to detail, but it's that's what makes I suppose a professional photographer to see these little details when you shoot the photo. And that's the first rule, is to get it right in camera. But I mean, this is for me, it's a spectacular photo. I think this is something that can go up on a wall. I think it's something that can be sold online. It's definitely power, and I do think
it's a very nice fine art piece. Very.
Agree.
Yeah.
Cool. Must I move on, guys?
Yeah.
Good.
9 to go.
Okay. Now we have
commenting.
So now we have Faunus Beetge, such a rare dude, with controversial.
Honestly, so I get the Christ-like figure, I get the beard, and he's holding his hands, and he's in his robe. I don't get why the cat licking its lips, what that's implying. I don't want to go down that road necessarily, if it's not going to be implying what I think it is. So I can't figure out if I could just hear from him what he was after here, because the colors are great. I think the colors work really well together. His robe and the background, those colors are complementary. They work quite well. Why is that cat licking? And how did he time it to get? It's like, I feel there's a lot of subtext in this, but it could reveal. So it's asking a lot of questions, I guess, then, because I'm jumping around trying to figure out what he's saying with this. And I mean, what is the title again? Controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling to figure this out, honestly. It's I'm dying to hear what you two guys think. You've done a lot more of this than me. What do you see that I don't see? What am I missing? What is that symbol on his robe? Is there some meaning in that symbol, perhaps, that's half covered up that I can't see?
Look, for me,
he's definitely got the Renaissance painting pose. He's got like the pose with the hands.
Yeah.
He's got the pose, but that cat licking its chops. I want to know what that cat's eyeing out and why it's hungry. Why is the kitty cat hungry?
Yeah. Look, from the first time I saw this image, it jumped out. It immediately drew my attention, and a lot of it's got to do with the color. Like I'm a color guy, so the yellows and the blues, they're working. I think it's a cool photo. I would explore it way more. I think this needs a lot of fine tuning, and it will be a great image, if I can put it like that. I don't like the crop. I think the crop is not working for me. The cat is super cool, but the positioning of the cat, and I mean, working with animals is an absolute nightmare. So just by getting the shot is already like just well done. But I don't know, like the symbol on the robe, it comes to the styling. I would have taken that out. I'm not a fan of the fabric. I don't feel shooting this type of style with a shiny fabric is helping anything at all. The blues, those highlights are burning out, so I would have, and I also would have dropped the camera. If you want this Jesus figure, would have dropped the camera low and shooting up a little bit, so to give your subject power. But it all comes down to styling for me. I think the lighting is there. Everything's there. It's just for me the wrong choice of fabric. And I mean, in a perfect world, absolute perfect world, I would have wanted that cat to be a Sphinx, with no fur at all and just chilling in front of Jesus. That for me would have been amazing. But I think it's a really cool image, for honest. I think you must just take it further.
Can I say something quickly? You mentioned the angle looking up to give him like a hero shot. But if you think of the Renaissance, the first thing that popped into my head was all those Renaissance paintings, or like the Last Supper, for example, of thingy that pops to mind straight away. And that view was always straight on. It was never, it wasn't always up. It was very straight on. So if he was going for that, then he's got the angle right. But I hear what you're saying about the hero shot, and okay, cool.
I think the Euro shot, because I think it's also got to do with the table. So all the little creases on the table is freaking my eye is going all over. So I think by just dropping the angle, you would have sorted that out, and also giving a lot more power. And I would have loved the cat to be like centered, but again, it's an animal, so you don't know what is going to happen. I think, but I would actually want to see the shot without the cat, to be honest. The cat, I think the cat is interesting, but it's the only thing that's interesting about the cat is the cat's expression. So I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah.
Even dropping the cat, I think the shot would have been very strong.
Do you know what? I'm just thinking now, there's so many televangelists and that around and active now, I'm sure, during lockdown. But imagine if this shot was shot as a behind the scenes, and you came back a bit and included the studio light and a video camera, and as if this guy was doing that kind of thing. That would have been like that. That would have been like. Then you've got to,
Yeah. Now you're bringing in the classic Tim Moolman.
Well.
But that's very cool, dude. Pierre, what did you get?
Like André said, this one definitely jumped out when you see the whole ensemble of photos that's been entered for this week's competition. This one definitely stands out. I don't know if it's the contrasting colors that helps a lot. I'm not sure if he went for the Jesus figure. I think somebody here said Jedi. Might look a little bit more into that. But if I show you something here quickly, I just have to. There we go. It's this one. So I think. Can you see this? Where I'm now?
Okay.
Yeah. So I think he went for a little bit of a Buddha pose. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's that peaceful thing, and the contrast with the cat silly expression works for me.
That's the controversial. That's the controversial then. If
Maybe
it's Christ doing a Buddha pose.
Maybe. I don't know, but yeah.
I'm googling stuff now. I'm googling like mad.
But I do agree with the wrinkles. Yeah, maybe Faunus. Somebody says here. Die kat het die nagmaal geëet, kyk hoe lê die krummels. So and Wilma says the honde is totally the honde is totally Jesus orientated.
Yeah.
So I mean, this the fact that everybody's talking about it.
That's
an interesting photo. Exactly.
It's an interesting photo. So I think 10 out of 10 for that. Styling, I mean, the styling can improve with the wrinkles. I think that fabric must be horrible to work with because you can sneeze and there's a new wrinkle. So, and if he had the logo on his gown, I think if that was visible more towards the story, it could have helped. Rather, don't split it in half. But I think, I mean, the framing is good for me. And the fact that we are basically talking almost 10 minutes on this photo says a lot. So,
yeah, it does, it does.
So I think it's good.
I think if you look at from a styling aspect, if you look at the background and how the background is almost I don't know how to say this in English, but like almost like a gordijntjie, if you know what I mean. So the left-hand side of the image is very nicely done, and then there's this massive gap. And by doing that, you created that highlight. You know, so I think if everything was just neatly put together, it would have worked way better already. And the square crop is not working for me. I would have shot a portrait. Centered, you know. Yeah.
That's a valid.
I love the dude's chest there. Yes. I wish I had like all the chains. Would have been
André, you know him. Is this a self-portrait?
No. It's homie.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen Faunus in so many months, so maybe.
Right, let's go to the next one.
Move on, guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to top up my whiskey. I don't know that the guy said julle manne se drankies lyk lekker. I think that's just activate your name on Facebook so that we can see who you are. All right.
Good. So now we have Stefan Els with concentrate. Concentrate and contemplate. Either one.
I like contemplate more. Okay, so I really like this image. I like the fact that his blacks are crushed. There's no detail in the shadows. I love the fact that you can make out enough detail in the kids' faces that they're playing. And I love the posing as well. There's focus there. I love all of that. The background is blown out nicely. That's great. It works for me. But the angle on this one slays me. This should be board level. And maybe even tighter. Can you zoom in, André, and just crop the back of the heads off? Can you do that?
How do you want it? Sorry, man.
Just crop the back of their heads. So zoom in, just crop it in. So like more. Yeah, bring it down. No, it's to feel. Bring it down.
Use the crop
down.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, man.
Is it press R?
Sorry, guys.
It's right next to
I'm
the key.
sleeping here, man. Yo. Okay. How much you want it in?
Okay, move it across.
Just at the back of their heads.
Chop off the back of their heads. Just chop off the back of their heads.
I see.
A little bit more on the right, yeah? And just go. No, wait. Stop. This is so weird. This is like trying to tell you how to park. Now, slide the crop up a bit so you get closer to the board at the bottom of the frame. There. Stop there. Just crop it.
Okay. Yo,
That's a bit maybe. But just look how it intensifies everything now because there's no space behind them.
yeah, that's
You need to see it cropped in like a now that shot from a low angle. So just make it a little bit bigger. No, I would say bigger. Don't chop it.
I just want to actually check. Can I do this quickly just to see if? Sorry, tell me if I'm messing with your.
No, I would just the boy on the left with his hand. I would just give him a little bit more on his forehead. But I love the focus now because now the child on the left is secondary to the one on the right. The one on the right is making the move, and the one on the left is observing. We focus more on the child right. But just this kind of crop and a low angle, and this piece is gold. And also less pieces on the chessboard. Less pieces on the chessboard. We don't have to see everything that's being captured. They can be off frame to the side so we can maybe barely make them out somewhere. But fewer pieces on the chessboard so it's not as cluttered. Looking low up like that, I think it works. It would be an amazing. It's already because technically he's got everything. For me, it's working brilliantly. Because even the child's arm coming across, even though his arm is bent like that, we've still got a clear profile of his face that's lit. We can see his whole face nicely. Man, it's like just bend your knees, just like. But I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great execution. The whole white background is great. Yeah, I just think the crop and the lower angle would make it amazing and less pieces.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you just said about the crop. I think if you come in, definitely the angle because there is already so much magic happening with the reflections. And if you drop down more, you would have almost doubled up on all the chess pieces. And I'm totally with you. There needs to be more tension in the game. So less chess pieces. It's almost checkmate type of thing. Totally get it. I love the lighting. There's enough detail in their faces. I think it's a very cool shot. I think the angle messed you around a little bit. I agree with Tim. But that's me.
Oh, yes, I still have my mask around my neck. That's good. Ready to roll like a superhero.
Bro, almost took a sip of a full beer. Not even taking the cap off. Sorry.
Yeah, everybody, you're in good hands with the judging tonight. Everyone's in good hands.
You're in for a treat. That's why you here, Tim.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of backlit stuff. I had this argument with a Spark who did our lighting on a shoot this past weekend, where he said that you can see less and less backlit stuff and rim lights doesn't matter anymore and stuff. And maybe, but for me, I like it. It gives me separation. It gives me focus. For me, it's I'm a huge fan of something that's been backlit. I'm really impressed that Stefan. He's a good friend of mine and fellow Stellenbosch resident. So our paths crossed a lot, and I'm super stoked that he got to do a photo like this in his living room, guys. This was done in a living room. It wasn't done in a studio. During lockdown, I mean, I have no idea how insanely hectic it must be with children during lockdown when they couldn't go to school. This was even then, I mean.
Yeah.
So the fact that he got them to concentrate a little bit, I think, helped a lot. For me, I really want to know a little bit more. Andre, you said that if you went lower, that the shadows would become, or the reflection would become longer.
Yeah. So you're
All right.
almost going to
On
double.
the table. Yeah.
Yeah. On a shiny surface like that, the chess pieces will almost double up, so it will look like a mirror effect.
A mirror effect, yeah.
So that's interesting. In my mind, I thought that the higher I would go, I would start to see that reflection, but it's actually the lower you go, you'll see that reflection. I think that's a very good pointer for everybody.
That's why you see a lot of photojournalists. Sorry, the best photojournalists have dirty knees.
Okay.
Always. If you see a photojournalist and he doesn't have dirty knees, he's
dirty knees.
Great. Dirty knees and dirty elbows. Then you definitely.
That's why you have knee pads.
No, I'm just always dirty. I'm dirty at weddings and
That's really interesting. Because I also had the argument this past weekend that I put the cameras sort of 30 degrees above eye level when I do my live streams and my shoots, because for the simple reason that it looks that like they are looking at me and I don't look up their nose for me in video. And this argument was, no, these days you shoot from lower or whatever. So that's quite an interesting topic that I think we maybe in the future.
Well, if you think about it, but you're right. When you think about it, so we're going to go on a tangent now. But a lot of times, if I'm looking down at the camera, I mean, you're going to have a double chin. Then you'll have a double chin, like you say. You look at people's noses, and where I am now in my daughter's beautiful pink room, that actually looking at my webcam is on my laptop is higher than I am. And you can't really tell. It doesn't. Looking at my frame over here, that looks a pretty good place to be, and the camera's looking down at me. So, yeah, but there's so many experts around there, Pierre. Everyone's an expert. Everyone watches one YouTube video and they're an expert.
Like me.
I'm still watching YouTube videos. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't watch tutorials and YouTube videos, I mean, it's free. It's free out there. It's knowledge that's waiting to be eaten up. I mean,
absolutely.
For me, it's I always like to put the camera a little bit high, but that's for me when I shoot my videos. That's a specific look I have to go. I'm not making a movie, and I'm not. It's a sort of it's basically live broadcast. Live broadcast, So for me, looking up a classical player's nose is not very flattering. But for me, if Stefan could just those lines on the table, it's a little bit skewed. So if you could just maybe shimmy a little bit to the left, that would
the longer you look
a little bit more spot. But I think you can be very proud of this photo, and I think this photo will stay in their house for years to come.
Very cool.
That was a mouthful.
The more I look at it now, I notice that one little chess piece that's cutting into the one dude's hand. And that's very distracting. It's just cutting those lines, But I love the shape of his arm over those chess pieces. That works very amazing. But just that little thing.
And note how if the angle was lower, his face wouldn't be against his arm. His face would be purely against the white. It's so close. It's such a great idea. It's like it's so good. It's just like, man, it just knock those pieces off the table and then lower angle. Gold, but it's so good already, and it's so close to absolutely perfect.
Awesome.
So Stefan says, "Thanks, guys. Very valuable feedback." So he's listening. Hello, Stefan.
I see that.
And thank you for submitting this and making us talk about techniques, which is great.
Okay, must I move on, guys?
Yes.
Cool.
This is
Okay. You've got Vilma Kotze, Conjurer.
So I think the theme works. There's a lot of effort that Vilma's gone to with the props and the makeup and the detail. Fantastic. I just feel, Vilma, don't be upset, man. I just feel it could have been darker. It's like it's lit, it's beautifully lit, and there's such a dark theme here with the Conjurer that if you had backlit this, well, not backlit, but had depth to the image, pull the candles and have it only candlelit perhaps, or more natural looking lighting, and make it look gloomier, then it would have just had this really dark impact then. Like it is now, okay, so it's a Conjurer. We can see the makeup. Everything looks fantastic. Everything, the props, everything is fantastic. André, I'll leave it to you to decide. You know better where things should go, perhaps, but I just feel more natural light, a warmer light, more darkness, and then depth to it. Like there was a whole look. I know it's been locked down, so this is now because your environment and that, but more of it behind her, or maybe the stuff on the floor, just to give more depth to the image and to darken it a bit and have the lighting coming from different areas, like candles and candles over there. And I mean, we could go all out and ask for cauldrons and smoke and all sorts of stuff, but I feel that with all the props that are here are fantastic. The lighting just needs to be darker, perhaps more directional, and a bit gloomier, perhaps. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to get at you? I just feel it's such potential.
Man.
Just darker, lower lighting definitely would have made it far more impactful. That's yeah.
Cool, man. Look, I think Vilma, this is amazing, and there's a lot of effort that went into this. This is right up my alley. I mean, shooting conceptual work that's my thing. I agree with Tim that if the lighting was more dramatic, and it could have been something as simple as just having your key light just light your subject's face. So you have play between the rest of the image being a half a stop darker as to the subject's face type of thing. And that would have popped it immediately. Something that I love to see and that you used is the glass. But if you had rim lights firing into those glasses and maybe adding purples or some sort of liquid or something interesting in the jars, it would have just taken the shot to the next level. Everything for me is a little bit cramped in. So I would, when it comes to the crop is very weird for me. It's cutting very close to all the objects at the bottom of the frame. So I would have wanted just to split everything out a little bit more. When you look at the subject's right arm, you can see that her hand is growing out of the bottle or the jar. And that's something it's those tiny things that messes with you. So just by splitting that up, I absolutely love the makeup. That fur jacket is insane. The white, when it comes to styling point of view, the white candles are too white. It's drawing away attention. So, you know, when you almost overburn those things, so they become a little bit black or brown, so there's way more texture in them. I think something like that would have worked. And then I'm not particularly... I like the black background, but I think you could have maybe played with some color as well. Maybe adding in a purple backdrop on this, but then keeping in mind that you highlighting your subjects, only the face, and the lighting, like Tim said, is way more dramatic.
I just want to That's sort of something I get. Look, that table, I don't know how big the table was for her, but if she'd sort of stack things out in front of each other like this, and then let me see if I can just shot her face through it like this. If she's busy now, where am I? Do you know what I mean? So just put all the obstacles in front of her. It looked more like a workbench.
Yeah, so it kind of leads you in.
Out there. I mean, that's, yeah. It's again, it's like this. She's gone through so much effort. It looks fantastic, but it's like, yeah.
Just, I think everything is just a little bit too tight. So you've got too many objects competing with your subject, and it's that fine line between keeping things minimalistic but also busy, and just understanding that. And sometimes it's literally just moving things apart, so you don't create a clutter. But for me at this stage, it's sitting in a weird space because it's cluttered, but it's also not. If you look at the background, so in my personal opinion, if it's cluttered, it needs to be over cluttered. So then I'll lose the black background and I'll use a super busy backdrop, but then clutter everything up. Don't go, you need to kind of commit. But again, Vilma, I'm saying all these things is just my opinion. It's not, I'm not saying.
She's gone to so much effort, like you said. The makeup and the weird ears on the head. How you thought of that? That was like the first thing. But there's so much effort you've gone to, yeah.
I want to stand there. I want to be on the set, because I really love what I'm seeing. I want to be there and I want to be like, okay, shit, man. Can I quickly just whip out my camera and steal your shot? No, I'm joking. But it's very cool. It's very cool.
Put your SD card inside the camera.
Pierre, let's not go there, bro. He's making Cape Town jokes, Tim. You hear that, dude?
I hear that.
Leave it at that.
Let's leave it there.
I learned
put your SD cards inside a professional photographer's camera and take a photo. Okay? That's the end of it.
That's not cool, dude. And especially... Oh, is that what? Now I get it. That's quite serious, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll
get me all upset again, dude. And I'm such a friendly guy.
We still need to go to bed tonight. So for me, I mean, Vilma, since the beginning, the amount of effort that this person puts into her work is insane. She made a whole dress, I think it was out of pie baking trays and things like that. She does a lot of effort, and you can see it right here. I mean, it's amazing. Now, for me, I want to ask you guys some questions. There's candles in the shot. Okay, that's a source of light, and it's a practical light. And if you look at the shadow, it feels like the flash was almost on the same side as the candles. So immediately you take away that light of the candles. So what would happen if she put the light behind her, shooting 45 degrees towards that dark spot on the back side of her face, so that the darker side can be towards the camera, which we do. We use that in filmmaking a lot, where we put the darker side towards the camera, so that you sometimes so it's a negative full, and you get the Rembrandt little triangle on the chin, but it creates a lot of contrast, and it creates a lot of it dramatizes the shot a lot. If you look at the modern series on Netflix and Showmax or whatever you're looking at, you'll see that the dark side of the face is always towards the camera, so that the key is usually more behind these days. Not that you call that the key, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So what would happen in a scenario like that if the flash was a little bit more behind her and you let the candles fill in that little bit more of a darker?
I think you need a lot. You need a lot more candles, and that light you said would have to be a bit softer. But I mean, André would know this better. But I would again, if you had like 30 or 20 candles burning in a pile there, and all over the place, that would give you so much light anyway. It'd be such a dark mood to it. It'd be such a mood then.
It just feels flat. The lighting and the theme doesn't go together. It's too flat for this theme. I think if it had a little bit more shadows and contrast, it would have worked a little bit better for me.
If you went that route, to be completely honest, I hear you with the negative fill. But in this instance, with this styling, it would have been very, very difficult because of the hat. So to get a light coming in from that side would have almost made it impossible. So a spot grid, just firing or shooting through flags, in a light source, hitting through a block just to catch a bit of the face. And then, I mean, you can add more candles there, but it's very easy to fake that just by using a yellow gel and bouncing yellow light from that side. So you are faking the candle light.
Yeah.
Visually, nobody would know that that light is not coming from the candles if you do it properly.
I just love burning stuff, so the more candles, the better.
I also love burning shit.
But what I can understand now from her comments, she is very limited with gear. So the fact that she pulls off this photo with the amount of gear she has is insane. And then she said, so obviously her plan didn't work. She said that die hoed is op die candles is op die hoed geplant, maar het nie op my kop gewerk nie. So those candles should have been on top of her head.
Yo, that would have worked.
So she quickly made another plan.
This is really cool. Wilma, this is so cool, man. Cool. It feels like we have so much to say, but it's at the end of the day, this is an insane image.
You got to consider lockdown and how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're sitting here. It's very easy to sit here and go like, "Yeah, well, actually," but and we're thinking like a big studio space and lots of time and gear. So this is great. But we stand by. It's so much potential to be a darker, moodier image. Definitely. Yeah. We should do this again. You should do this again when there's more space and time and that.
I would have liked 4 HMI lights and an Arri Alexa and
400 candles. 400 candles.
400 candles.
And a smoke machine.
Exactly.
Yeah. Done.
So the fact that these people are pulling off shots like this is just blows my mind. Yeah.
Okay,
right, next one. Yeah, quite.
Okay, next one is my brother, Costa Santos, with Contraceptive.
Chris is, when I met him, he shot our wedding with André, and he doesn't say a lot, but he sure as hell says a lot with his photos, and he always has this very fine sense of humor, which I enjoy. Over to you, Tim.
My turn. So my wife and I were discussing this, and we agree that bananas taste better without the peel. Bananas. Now, is that a papaya in the middle? That fruit?
Yeah.
It's a papaya, hey? Look, and it's contraception, this one. So this you can discuss for days. I mean, look, the colors are great, clean background. There's humor here. I love the fact. Look, I don't know if he was going for this, but the fact that the banana with the peel has got the condom on. and the one without the peel is condomless. And I like the fact that it's not a symmetrical image, that there's more weight to the one side. I can't say more. I think it's funny. It's humorous. You could discuss it a lot, I suppose, but the lighting is great because the lighting on the hands has got a nice depth to it. The way it's been lit, there's a nice depth to the image. It's not flat. And I keep looking at it. It's just funny, dude. I look at it and I smile. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And that's my first takeaway is what I said about the peel and the no peel on the bananas. Yeah. I think maybe, I think the fruit in the middle looks good. The banana on the left has got a few little brown patches on it. It would have looked, I think if you're being a perfectionist, maybe you want to tidy those up or get a more perfect banana. And the yellow, where you get yellow condoms? Sorry, I make kids. I don't. I like it. I like the colors. I think it's a funny image. I really, it gets a reaction. It gets a smile, no matter what it's. I don't think it's exceptionally rude or distasteful. Some people might think that. I think it's a quirky image. I like it.
Here's a comment that says, last year they sold a banana stuck to a wall with duct tape for millions of dollars. Instant art. This could be the next level. Chris.
Next level. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, bless you.
Oh man. It doesn't even need the fruit. It just needs the banana, the condom, and the banana. That's all it needs. I think that actually tells a story as well. Maybe the papaya is making it too graphic. Perhaps just the banana condom banana would work. Okay, that's what I got to say. André, what do you think?
Look, man, this image, I know, obviously, Chris is like a brother to me, and I know him very well. The moment I saw this, it's a super striking image. It evokes emotion, and that's the thing for me with any conceptual work. That is what you need to do. The fact that you guys are talking about this thing again, it makes it a great image. The colors is incredible. I really love it. The concept's very strong. There's something that bugs me about the crop. And I almost want to just split the objects up a little bit, because the papaya is obviously, that's like your focusing point, but it's falling on a bit of a weird spot for me in the crop. So I just want to kind of move it a little bit to the left, but also move everything out a little bit. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys.
I hear what you're saying there. But this crop works to me. Like, I like this crop. There's enough weight. The weight is close enough to the center of the image for me, so that it's.
But that's amazing, man. Something that bugs me a little bit. If you look at the right hand, you can see that rim hitting the right hand, but the left hand doesn't have it, and that for me throws the image off. It's something as little as that messes with me. Also, when I look at this image, I can see. Well, I might be completely wrong, and please correct me, Chris. But it looks like the hands were shot from a bird's eye view down and comped in like this, and I can clearly see because it looks like they're falling over a little bit. So if the arm should have been a little bit forward towards camera. I don't know if you guys noticed what.
I hear what you're saying, but what I think is most amazing about the image is that how many tries did it take before you could throw both bananas and the condom up at the same time and get them straight to
And then one more thing. that is just messing with me a little bit. You can see I'm again on the rim light. So if you look at the banana far right, there it's got rims on both sides. If you look at the one on the left, we're missing that rim. And it's little things like that throws me off. When it comes to the grading in the actual arms, it just looks a little bit too yellow for my liking. It almost, the grade is a little bit dirty for something that's so clinical. So I would have lifted the midtones a little bit. And I think
André?
it would have livened, how do you say that? Give it more energy in a sense.
André, you're a flipping legend. You're spotting things which I'm like, this is why. This is why he's a lighting genius. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Maybe I was being an absolute asshole. So I'm sorry.
No. No, but he's like a brother. He's fine.
Just tell me.
No, if he's like a brother, you tune him. This is what you're saying here about the banana on the left now. You're right. There is something missing with the light there.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those details are you're taking because this is what you do this sort of photography, and your attention to detail is renowned. So it stands out to you. But yeah, for me, I just giggle when I see this. I think it's funny.
But I think
maybe can you imagine taking the hands out and just having the 3 bananas as a triptych?
Yeah.
And that's your art piece, maybe like 3. That's the triptych.
I wonder if the hands is maybe too much. I would have left everything as is without the hands. That would have been maybe a bit stronger. I don't know. But I honestly, I feel this shot is insane. I think the concept is very strong and it's done very well. Well done, Chris. Yes, I miss you, my bro.
So the way that Chris did this was with the fishing line hanging from a rod. With
okay.
And he had the background and he shot it. I think there's quite some distance. That's why there's no shadow on the background, which is a very good tip. I work.
But that's all the same lighting.
I'm busy now with a lot of.
Yeah,
I think so. I work a lot with green screen nowadays, and if you stand too close to a green screen, I mean that it's a big mess up because it spills everywhere, and when you key it out, you key out the wrong things. So distance from the background is always good if you don't want any shadows or some spill. I think that's what Chris did here. This image really does make you giggle. I think it's a great photo. For me, I think this is Chris in and out. It's his sense of humor. That's why his photos are unique. And I think that's what's put him aside from a lot of other photographers, and that creates a very good and bright, beautiful future for him. Somebody said, personally, I think the concept with the papaya is too close to Mika's. She did it first. If I say someone, because you say you're a Facebook user, you have to give StreamYard permission, then we will see you. But I'm sure Mika also wasn't the first to use the papaya as a metaphor to a vagina, I suppose. So
no, and flattery is the sincerest, yeah.
So and then somebody said, I see this as a comment against feminists, and yes, they are missing the joke. So I think it's a great.
Yeah, I'm not biting.
Photo.
I don't feel trolls.
So, yeah, for me, I don't know how to style this differently. André did mention something now that maybe without the hands, it would be something else. But, I mean, the hands also adds a lot to this photo. And what Tim said, maybe the condom should have been on the banana without a peel. That sort of makes sense. But Yeah, I think it's a
No,
great
I like it
photo,
the way-
and I think
No, I like it. Sorry, Pierre. No, I didn't mean the banana should the peelless banana. The condom should be off it. Like so, like the bananas are. That's perfect as they are. To me, tells the story as in
okay.
yeah.
But
With
I
the
think
peel, you don't eat a banana with the peel on.
no.
And we leave it
I
there.
think you should stop saying peel now when there's photos on.
Nee, maar ek praat dus Engels man. Ek praat nie soos 'n Afrikaner nie. Ek praat Engels. It's P-E-E-L.
I think everybody would agree that this really puts a smile on your face. So
Well,
Tim,
this photo got people talking on this
Really?
on the chat.
comments. That alone made a statement. If it's a good one or a bad one, it's up to you to decide.
Have I got to choose now? Is it all 5?
Yeah, that's all fine. You have to choose.
Can you show me them all on the screen again?
Yeah, well,
All at one time.
I was just figure out how to do this. I keep
I would
forgetting.
have phoned you.
You used that before, André. Yeah.
There we go.
Listen, as long as if I find it funny, it's enough for me. I can be the only person. If I'm the only person laughing in the room, I'm okay with that. I really am.
There we go, man. Oh, you're not seeing it like that. I don't know
I
why.
can't see it. No. If you hit the grid, bottom left, hit the grid. Was that going to
I
show all
just
the
got it on my live stream. It's showing, but I don't know.
Just check on your screen share that you're sharing the right.
Let me see.
Highlight all 5 and hit N.
Wait, I'm gonna look at I've got it on my desk. Hold on. I've got it on my desktop here.
Okay.
Highlight.
This
all
is
5
tough,
hit
eh?
N,
Because
I did, man, but it's opening weird.
okay, no, I can see them here. You know what?
I'll just do this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Man, they're all so good, guys. It's like something, and it felt like there was like a little bit missing from each one, perhaps. But you know what? I'm gonna go with Chris's one, the last one, the contraception, because that just put a smile on my face. The chess one. Whose was the chess one again?
Stefan L.
That's Stefan.
That is such a close second for me. That's such a close second. That is so good. That is so good. Just the crop in that, and the potential of Wilma's. Look, they're all fantastic. But yeah, I'm giving it to.
So we got a clear winner.
Yeah.
Congrats, Chris. Well done, dude.
Congratulations, Chris. You win absolutely nothing, but all 5 of you are.
Let's buy him a banana.
Yeah, we can maybe ship you a banana, and a condom.
No, that's dirty. Just a banana.
Okay. Keeping it PG. All right. So, okay, guys, we are already busy for an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay, we'll be quicker this time. We'll be much quicker. We just go yes, no, yes, no.
Okay, do you guys maybe want to take a 5-minute break? Is that okay?
But then we'll have to start the stream again.
No, but can't
Pinch.
we?
André, pinch.
Let's push through, André.
Yes,
We'll do it. No, we got this. We got this.
Yo, guys, come on. Okay. How about a 2-minute break? A quick 2-minute break? I'm drinking.
I don't mind waiting. Okay, Pierre, okay, run. André, run. Pierre and I can talk. So, Pierre.
Cool, I'm just going to do this. You guys can chat. Like it.
I can do that.
So, is this what normally happens then?
No.
Okay.
So, I think.
Do we know how many people are watching us, Pierre?
16 at this stage, but a lot of people watch it afterwards.
Okay.
Order,
No, that
just
doesn't.
for us
Yeah.
to finish and skip through to see
So
who's
can I
the
can I
winner.
put a question out to everyone who's watching? How am I doing so far? Because you've watched more of these judging things than I have. Am I at least making sense with my comments?
I think from my side,
Do you think
you are
I-
doing great, and
Thank you very much.
for me, it's nice because we've been friends, not for very long, but it feels like we've been friends for very long, and
Like forever.
yeah, and you are always super honest, which is great.
Yeah, and I understand. Yeah, you know what? And I understand how sensitive people can be, and that's why I said at the very outset of this when I introduced myself that I don't feed trolls. So if I see people online commenting and being, oh, thank you very much, Facebook user. If I see somebody commenting unnecessarily or just wanting to start an argument, I've got no desire. I'll end those conversations and say goodbye, it's done. But I feel that we should always be honest with whatever, you have to be kind and polite. You don't want to be mean to people, but thank you, Stefan. Oh, Stefan, was that yours with the chest? Is
Yes.
that Stefan? I didn't see. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, dude. Man, bend your knees. It's like so good. Now I know him. He's a good guy. I know him. Yeah, dude, bend your knees. But yeah, we have to be, you can't paint things, you can't be insincere with this because people will see through it. Well, they will at least with me. I'm a terrible liar. You can ask my wife. I never lie. I'm just horrible at it. Ach, baie dankie, Wilma. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have to, and this is such a great, it's such a great environment that you guys have created. Thank you, Fred.
Yeah, on that
It
note,
really, really is. It's if we could only just get X done, And I won't mention it.
and we say bye to Tim and
No. Ek gaan dit nie weer sê nie, hoor. Ek gaan nou stil bly. I won't
it's
say
okay.
anymore.
It's okay.
But,
we will,
it's just so funny to see all the comments online about it, and yeah.
It's when I wake up, it's hashtag X.
I think you should just drop that hard drive and say, sorry guys, it's gone.
I think I should just milk it and keep it going for years. And then
I think it sounds like a 2022 deal. 2022.
Yeah, let's start the next one with X. But I mean, the future plans, we don't know yet. Oh, look at this comment. Huh? Yeah, they are really out. No, that's okay. That's okay. We can bring
the comment,
this
square.
back. No, can't you see that X?
No, I can just see a square. Okay, but if yeah.
But
André?
no, we don't know the future yet. It's obviously super difficult to do this now when we got a little bit more busy. But we'll figure out a way.
No, a lot more busy. Don't say a little busy. You got a lot busy, because if you say a little busy, it implies that you have time for this. If you say a lot busy, then you don't have time for this.
True.
I don't so much.
I can use other words than a little bit more than a lot.
Cool.
But
let's not bore everybody. Let's get it.
I'm really, really grateful. Yeah. So André is back. Is he okay?
Yeah.
Right, André? Okay.
Okay. So we're moving on to
Win.
Yeah. Here we go.
That's the first one.
So, and this is Kirsten's.
Kirsten and
that is Kirsten.
Yeah, self-portrait.
I think it's very unfair when you're a photographer and you have a good-looking model available like 24/7, who's willing to do whatever you want to do as a photographer. You have the concept and the model says, yes, I'll do it. That's my first comment on the picture. I think it's a great image. The color's good. I think there's too much light cutting across her face. is, and you know what? We're being picky now. We really are being picky on all these images. But I feel that light cutting across her face is perhaps just maybe a bit too high on her forehead. I feel like it should be a bit slimmer, but there's a nice feeling of depth. There's a nice depth of field. There's a nice background to this as well to give a nice cold feeling. Can we make it? Is there any way to make this image bigger?
I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm gonna go to my. Hang on, I'll just go to my desktop.
I can do that, but
can you make it bigger?
Then it's just we're a little bit up now.
Okay. You know what I'll do? I'll just cheat a bit here and go to my, because I've got them on my desktop.
I'm not sure if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing.
Yes, we are.
Oh, there we are. You see, that's great detail, and the color on her, and the color the detail she's gone to with her eyelashes, and the eyebrows. Now, I've got a 5-year-old, so the first thing I want to say is Frozen. But then again, we did finish Game of Thrones last year. So there could be a White Walker vibe here. But I think it's great. The tones are fantastic. There's the slightest bit of warmth in her skin, where the light's coming across her face. Like there's a little bit of warmth. So she's not a White Walker, but I just feel that light is maybe just a bit too spread out. Maybe it should have either moved lower to get more of her lips in, or it should have been slimmer across her eyes. But and then maybe. No, I don't know. See, she's got her lipstick. There's frosting on her lips. It looks pretty. The makeup looks on point to me. That looks really, really good. And I like whatever the background was. That it looks cold to me. I can't really fault it much. I just think that light. I don't know. Yeah, I'll wait for the lighting experts to comment on this. But I like the amount of effort that Kirsten's gone to for this. I mean, she's had some great shots in the competition. And like I say, if you've got a model who's prepared to work with you any time of day or night, you're spoiled. Aren't we, Kirsten?
Yeah. Look,
André,
man.
what do you think?
Look, I love this shot. I've obviously Kirsten's been on set with me a couple of times, and she's seen me do this type of lighting setup. So it's very cool for me to see her pull it off, and actually see and learn from these things. I honestly feel that in lockdown she's improved so much, man. And I think that this image like this for me means that the ISO challenge is working, which is amazing, man. This shot is really cool for me. I love the lighting. I do agree with you, Tim. Now that you said it, I would have loved that stripe to be over the eyes a little bit more. It's not something that I noticed at all, but now that you said it, I think it would have been a bit stronger. Something that she really pulled off is because I work with a lot of flags, and I understand how difficult it is to get the balance between a key and the rest of the full in a situation like this, in a lighting setup like this. And how do you say this? The balance between the key and the full is done very well. The key is highlighting. I think the makeup is really great. The color tone is amazing. I like the background. I think it brings the concept across, the word winter. I think you can kind of feel the cold in this image, and I think something that Kirsten's been pulling off throughout all the challenges is there's not a lot that you can say wrong about the images. And that for me is magic. She's keeping it simple, but it's to the point, and it's done really well. I like the fact that she's looking down, and the lashes, the styling, it's working really well, man. very, very, very strong image.
I feel she should have. If I can make one point, perhaps the lighting on her neck. Yeah. Now that I'm spending time with André Badenhorst, I'm starting to look at things, and there's like a little bit of a shadow popping out over there.
On the right.
Yeah, that's not too much to throw off. I feel, however, if she could have requested the model to produce more goosebumps, because it doesn't look like the model's actually that cold. You know, like just pop a few goosebumps. I'm just kidding. You're both sitting there dead quiet. I'm like, no, I'm kidding.
Wow.
But maybe a bit of a shiver, like a bit of a slow shutter speed. No, I'm kidding. No, look, I love it. But now that I'm spending time with
the because she's shaking.
But no, just that I see it, because it's blue, it's cold, the background is cold, that all the way. But then this little. Now that I'm spending time with André, I start seeing things like
Something that I really love is this. You see this highlight?
Yeah.
Coming around over here. Yeah,
that's beautiful. Against the dark.
Yeah. And there's a lot of detail in this. It's also like the retouching, because I always tell people this. I don't like, there's a very fine line when it comes to retouching skin. There is a lot of, and it works for a lot of people, but there's a very fine line for me where you lose the realness of a portrait by overdoing and by losing all the texture, and people tend to start looking like dolls. I absolutely hate it. And from a retouching point of view, I think this is done incredibly.
I still remember the first time I met Kirsten. It was at a photo film expo at Gallagher Estate, I think. No, it wasn't. Where was it? It was, I think, Midrand. Anyway, and just to see how far she's come in a very short time. She's done amazing work. Very creative. Her technique is it's extremely good already, but it's just so cool to see how somebody can be like a newbie, and the next time you see them, they're producing the most amazing work.
Yeah, it's incredible. I love that. Over to you, Pierre.
So I want to know, guys, I always ask these stupid questions, but does photographers play with the Kelvin in the camera a lot? Do you dial Kelvin white balance in?
I don't. Not for my work.
Okay.
I have played with it before, yes. I've used, one thing I remember now is using big golden reflectors and then turning my subject a horrible orange color and then pulling the white balance in post, pulling the white balance across to make them normal and turning a whole scene blue, for example. I've tried that with Kelvin. I have tried it in camera, but I shoot JPEG black and white and RAW for color, so I just change it afterwards. But I know some guys, I know there are quite a few glamour photographers who will shoot a very specific white balance in camera to produce their look and their vibe.
The reason why I ask is if you dial the Kelvin on this, if you took it up a little bit more to 56,000 maybe, that yellow light would have become a little bit more blue, and the blue would stay blue. So already that would tie in a little bit more to the cold feeling, yet it will give a texture to a little bit of yellow. Yellow. How did I say that now? But
the whiskey.
Will it work in photography? I don't know.
No. Look, for me, I don't know much about those things because I always shoot raw. I always shoot raw, so I have that power in post. And whenever I work with color, I use gels. So I know exactly what color I'm producing, even shooting raw. You know, so the only time I'll play around with color temp is in post. But I always try and keep things shot in camera, so I know exactly which route I want to go. You know, so it's a difficult thing to say. But now that I look at this image, you can see this little flare at the bottom left. I would have wanted to see the same type of shape on the right-hand side. Again, just tying the shot in. Because she's looking down and the shape of her head is so symmetrical, I would have balanced it out on both sides, if that makes sense. But that is really, really nitpicking.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know Kirsten, but it feels like I know her for very long, since this challenge started. And she really does produce quality work.
You guys are gonna hate me. Give me 30 seconds. Sorry, yeah, give me 30 seconds. I'm going to sort something out very quickly.
Go for it. But yeah, I think this is a great image. I think the butterfly lighting technique works really well, especially on females always. But that piece across her head is a little bit too much tungsten.
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
But I think if you just added a little bit more blue to that, might have changed. But I mean, the background is great. It's a great photo. The angle is spot on for me, and that's me, and it's again that 30 degrees above eye level.
No, you're talking.
I'm back.
I love it when you do that. 30 degrees down. I'm like, what?
Sorry.
Hey, guys.
Need space.
Can I move on, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
You can go.
Awesome. Okay, next image is by Martini Kutsia. Very interesting.
MGC. Oh, but this one, what's the title again? I've got it on my...
Oh, sorry, man. I think it's Windy.
So I love the idea. I love the bright colors. I love the dark background. The motion. I feel it's the crop that gets me. Can you flip this 180 degrees, André? Flip it upside down.
Yep.
I was playing with this image on. Just flip it upside down. One more. Do you know what? Go back. Even that portrait shot. I just feel
that actually works very nice.
That's the one. It just that crop or that angle was the only thing that really bothered me about it. I love the movement in it. Love the bright colors. The shutter speed is slow enough to show movement, but not to allow the colors to bleed into each other. Because if your shutter speed was too long, they're going to be bleeding into each other. So it's just long enough to show motion. And I just didn't like the angle on the crop. Felt strange to me. I spun it upside down when I was looking at it this afternoon. But when you just got it to this portrait angle, I quite like that.
Somebody is asking, was this wind or windy? The word is windy.
Windy. Or spinny, because it's spinning.
that you don't know the rules of the game, man. Use the word when inside your
yes, man. You know what?
This guy, whoa.
It's like you got him. It's like you just got him off the street or something. Where did you find this oak?
Who, Pierre or you?
At the skate park. Me at the skate park.
Oh, you guys.
So, yeah, I love it. I think it's great. It's great colors. The the windy idea, you can see the umbrella spinning though.
Yeah.
But the motion, back to the original, the motion is great in it. I really like it. I just feel that this angle does not. That's the first thing I felt when I looked at it. Everything else just leapt out, beautiful, brilliant, whatever. That was the part that bothered me. Maybe the crop could be chop the top off slightly. No, you see this shot like we had it in portrait. That works for me. Then I really like it. I like the simple subject. Windy can be a million different busy things. This is nice and simple. The shutter speed's just right. The colors aren't bleeding too much into each other. Good job. I like it.
Yeah,
André.
Martini, this is a great shot, man. It definitely drew my attention when I first saw it. I love the motion. I like the color. I'm not particularly a fan of the greens. I'm not sure. When you look at the shot, it's almost as if you've got the yellows, the reds, and the moment you hit green, it looks like you're losing the shape of the umbrella. And then back to blue. So it's almost as if there's a hole in the greens. I don't know if this is making sense to you guys at all.
Yeah.
I don't.
The color is just too dense, so it goes back. So maybe if you pop the greens out a little bit more, it would have worked a little bit better. I agree with Tim on the crop. The portrait crop already, or the rotated version, looked way better. But something like this, I would have wanted to see a hell of a lot of, say for instance, turquoise space to the left side of this image. This exact image, but the umbrella is only forming, say this is your frame. That is the size of the umbrella and the rest is turquoise. Something like that would have really pulled your eye to all the colors. I think it's very busy at the moment. So I would have wanted to calm it down with a lot of negative space, and the action is happening in one little corner. Obviously, easier said than done. But it's a very interesting image to look at. Definitely. I love the little white lines happening here. Yeah,
I totally think in that portrait crop, that's a piece for the wall. Go get it printed and put it on the wall. It's beautiful. It's abstract and colorful enough. Yeah, I really like it in portrait.
Good.
Yeah. Did you see the rim lights?
Rim, yeah.
Yeah. Rum. Yeah, you see, you're watching these streams now. You're saying rum. Facebook user. I like the anonymity. Everyone can chirp what they want to, but they just stay Facebook user.
Yeah. You can see their names, but not here. We're like, hey, okay.
Yeah.
Just some. Okay. Pierre?
So, for me, when André and I chose the images for the top 5, there was a video that came very close to top 5, and it was between this one and the video. The video unfortunately lacked a few things that would have helped him or her a lot to make the top 5. So this image definitely stood out, but I really wanted you guys to listen this time why this is a good image, because I know it's a good image, but I don't know why. Because I don't look at photos the way that you guys do. And the first thing that Tim said now was the fact that the colors didn't blend, so the shutter speed was exactly right. I think that's something you should keep in mind, obviously, when looking at this photo. But me as a non-photographer, don't think about shutter speed. I always shoot on a fixed shutter speed double the frame. Oh, the frame rate is always double my shutter speed. So for me, motion is important, and that's what sold this photo, was the fact that it's windy. And I don't know how, and now I know how, which is great. I do agree with the little dark side on the top image. It would have helped a lot, and I would have liked to see some background maybe. But I mean, we can maybe and this and that. But this is the photo that's been entered, and I think it's a great photo. And I really like to talk to listen to how you guys crit this photo to understand it a little better. So I think
André, flip it 90 again. Sorry, Pierre. André, flip it 90 degrees again.
Please just stop screaming at me, and I will do it.
Chop now. Boom,
I'm joking.
How do you feel? How do you feel like the now? Right? How do you feel about the greens? Yeah.
I think what bugs me about the green is because you have, if I do this, because you have the rim hitting the red, hitting that blue, but there's nothing on the green, and it sucks it in. And I think that is actually the issue. I don't think it's got to do with the color anymore. I think it's actually the light, just the shaping of it.
Which the shape is a lot. I see what. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So can't you just take like a whiteboard pen and just color in the little line and just go?
You can if you really want to.
Can you, André, flip this photo?
Yeah. But it's a great shot. It's very interesting, man. Martini, well done. I really love it. And the thing for me is also knowing her work is because she always does light paintings. And obviously this is not a light painting, but it's got the same qualities as the rest of her images. It's so weird.
She understands things in
that way. Yeah, it's very cool for me. Well done.
Stefan also says that at 90 degrees it looks like it's blowing away. So
yeah, flip it another 90 now. André, flip it upside down.
Okay.
Just one.
To the left, like that.
Yes, please. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, eh?
To the left.
You see,
don't ever sing, Pierre, please.
Now it almost looks like it's taking flight, like it's wings. Now it's got wings almost. Those highlighted yellowy, orangey things. Look.
I almost feel that this is my favorite.
This is what I did this afternoon, but then the portrait stuck together.
So what?
It's funny because it's abstract. It really.
Yeah, exactly. So what if you put the hook of the let's say you print it on a A1 or whatever, and you put the I just think about
the angle umbrella sticking out.
Yeah, you put it in the middle where you put it on the wall, and every day you can turn it a little bit, and it will absolutely.
No, that's
every day.
No, Pierre, that's why I love you so much.
That's a good, yeah.
Pierre, he's a crazy guy. Woo!
No, I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Natalie Field with wings.
Wings. This one, I looked at it straight away and thought, like, man, I thought that this little bird in the hands would look so nice if it was a black and white image. And then I realized, hang on a second, there's all these other dead birds behind it. They carry the color through. And it's quite a sad image, especially when you see all the other 4 on the ground.
This
All
is the
other,
first time I see the other dead birds.
You video guys are all the same. You video guys.
Hey, sleeping.
Hang on, let me see. André, if I send you an image, can you put it on the screen quickly? So I just thought of this now. If I WhatsApp it to you?
No, you can share your screen and then I can put it on.
What's that?
Okay, hold on 1 second. Share my screen.
Share screen, whatever you want to share. Choose the application.
Share screen. Is that my screen now? Can you see that?
Wait a second. It will come up now.
Let's try again. Hold on. Share screen. Oh, here we go. Entire screen. Hold on.
Yep.
You got a black and white image.
There, I've got it now.
So the first thing, what I liked, so you got the black and white image on now.
Yeah.
So when I looked, so if you could hear the color version, it was beautiful because the color of the birds, the dead birds on the ground, was picked out amongst the leaves and it matched the bird in the person's hands. However, I feel there's more mystery and more poignancy to this image because now you've got just textures. So you look at this bird in the hands, you go, oh man. And then if you study the texture around it, you start making out the little birds lying. And it's not immediately obvious to you. It's just a little bit more subtle. And now you're going to explore the image because it's black and white, the little dead birds on the ground aren't going to stand out as much. You're going to be looking and picking it. Oh, there's another one, and there's another one, and there's another one. And I just thought, from looking at the original image, I'm going to give it back to you now. I'll stop sharing my screen. I just felt that gave such an interesting angle on the image. Because like it is now, the bird, you know what am I making sense? Because you look at this image in color, and you get drawn to the color of the birds around it. Almost straight away. I saw that and I looked, look, all these little dead little birds. But in black and white, it was just like texture. And then as you delved into the texture, you started going, hang on a second. Here's something and here's something. And then you looked longer and harder at the image. And then when you pulled back and looked at it as a whole again, it just, for me in black and white, and because I love black and white imagery, it had more impact to me. Because the color of the sleeves sticking out at the bottom, that bothers me in the color image. The sleeve sticking out, that should have rather been rolled up all the way so as not to see the color of the top that the person's wearing. It should have just been the hands. But if you convert it to black and white, you don't see that. You don't pay attention to that at all. So I love the image. I love the idea. It's very sad. It's an emotional image because there's death all around. It's not just the death that I'm holding here. It's the death that is everywhere. And it just becomes how obvious do you want to make that? Do you want to show everyone the death straight away? Yes, all the blood and guts everywhere, or do you want people to go and find it afterwards? And I feel like with a black and white image, people will go search amongst the textures and find the soft feathers and find the other birds lying around there. And that's my 2 cents. André, what do you think?
Look, man, I love color. You know, so. The tones here makes my eye look at the other birds, the greens. So I maybe feel that if the image is black and white, that you might lose it. You know, you're gonna have to look way more, which is a great thing, but those little hints of green makes it interesting for me. I mean, Natalie's work is on a different level, you know. I absolutely love the grading. I love the fact that you can actually see the veins on the wrists, those blues, and that's also now tying in with and that in a sense for me is life.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So now there's life. The green is representing death, type of thing. That's how I see this image. I agree with the sleeves. I don't think the sleeves should have been in there. I would want to see way more of the arm, almost, where am I? Almost up to there, reaching in. And then something that just bugs me, and it's literally just the angle of a left hand. This part of the hand looks like it's bulging up. So I would have just softened the hands a little bit more. And then, I don't know if I do this. Those two fingers, they, if I can say it like that, they crop very weird there. I would want to move them over. No sleeves, longer hands. Color is beautiful. Maybe, and it's again just personal taste. I would have wanted to see a little bit more contrast on the hands, on the lighting of the hands, but keeping the background exactly the same. So it's just going to punch it out a little.
You say that, you just imagine what this, I don't know what time of day this was shot, but imagine this at in a golden hour light.
Yeah.
Or would that have been too warm, do you think? Would that have been
I think for the concept,
cold, yeah?
Yeah. I think for the concept and its depth, the tones are incredible. I would not change the tones at all. I think this is like if you really, I would love to see this in print, because I think it's one of those images where you see it online, but people don't appreciate it online. You need to see this on a big scale to actually realize, holy shit, like this. This is somebody that understands color, and that for me is incredible. I just would have wanted.
It begs a question also.
Yeah.
Sorry, André.
No, go for it, man.
No, you finish. I was just going to be silly and say, I wonder, how much dedication you Archie must have to kill all these little birds for one image. But whatever it takes to create the image, I suppose.
What did you just say? How many birds did you kill? Yeah. Feels like.
Natalie, where did you find that?
Something like a comp.
Question. Was that bird comped? So did you take that bottom of dead bird and flip it over so many times? I want to know now.
Look at the detail. Look at the detail in the shot, dude. Yeah.
It's technically perfect. It's technically absolutely perfect. But now, Natalie, you got to tell us, because now we're curious. You're raising questions now. We need to know how many birds were involved.
Her previous shot, she shot on a scanner. So, I mean, anything is possible with Natalie. But I'm blown away that I mean, my attention was so on this little bird that I completely missed the others. And I'm asking myself the whole time, why did I miss the birds? Because it's not like I'm not looking at the photo.
I think you just tired, Peter.
Can you imagine if the hands were smaller? What if the hands were smaller in the frame? Like André, what you mentioned about longer hands, say more the wrists. If they were smaller in the frame, so if the hands were kind of lost and they were,
So come in.
But then
come.
The crop. Everything is good except for the sleeves.
Yeah.
It's just the.
You're losing all the details.
Yeah. Oh, Natalie, that's dedication. Yoch, it's one poor bird that was flipped around.
Shame.
You washed your hands afterwards. Shame.
I absolutely love these colors, man. That's such a crazy shot, man.
No, that takes it next level, because if all those birds were added in, I don't have the patience for Photoshop work. For me, I've got to.
I want to know what I know. Fred is looking. Fred is a Photoshop genius.
Yeah.
I want to know what he thinks about this.
Yes, that's good. No, that takes it next level now. If it's like,
Yeah. No, that's very good, dude. Yo, like the colors. Whoosh. I can go on for days. Like color excites me so much, dude. And I'm a huge fan of Natalie's work. She knows what she understands photography. It's and conceptually, she's so strong. Yo.
But
Okay.
guys, let's go on to the others. Otherwise, it feels like we are.
This one made me laugh, Devin. This is so brilliant and
Okay.
so brave. That's like an Elmer Fudd face. That's just so funny. And however he's touched it up to give himself almost a plasticky look.
Yeah.
You know, he's tweaked himself just right. Look, I'll let Andre comment on the colors used there, but I think I love it. I think it's so funny. It's so humorous. Yeah, very brave to pull that face, and it's tremendous. I love it.
Guys, we asked Fred just now what he thinks, and that's what he said.
16:9. Yeah, I also feel that.
And he approves. So
yeah,
well done.
So we're on the right track. Okay, cool. So it's cool. Awesome. So this one, Andre? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like, listen, like, Devon's been killing for so many years now. And honestly, he's been right. He's been getting things right. And to see the behind the scenes, this was actually done by a leaf blower into his mouth. So, you know, that alone, that gives him a lot of points. It's really amazing. I love the expression. Obviously, the everything that's happening is so cool. Something that I would normally say is weird in portraiture. If you look at his shoulders, the way this is shot, and how tiny his shoulders is, you know, that's obviously a no in portraiture. But in this instance, because it's more comical, it benefits the shot, and that alone already it's incredible. Well done, Devon. One thing that bugs me a little bit is his left hand, his left side, his left eye is way whiter than the other one. And if you start looking at those little things, I would have just lit that other eye up as well. Because now it tends to start looking like a glass eye, which is a little bit weird.
Perhaps in post, or is that his lighting?
I think that's in post, man. You won't get that white, you know, lighting like that. Something that I really love is I love the use of color. I love green and pink, but I don't like the combination of green, pink, and yellow, which is a little bit funny for me. I would have maybe wanted to see. It's so difficult, yeah. I don't like.
What would you make? Would you leave the green and pink as they are then?
The green and pink would have been cool, maybe then on a pink background, or I would have gone yellow, blue.
I'm guessing face user is Devon. So Devon, you're right. I shoot you then. You got to tint your glass. You better not be. He's not serious, right? He is kidding. We're not going to make fun of a guy with one eye now.
But yeah, okay. Whoa, dude. Okay. But this is such a cool shot.
Yeah, now that you said that, that's the only thing. But I mean, it was just
no.
I love the color. I do. But that eye, you're right. You pointed out the glass eye.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy, and I would have lifted. I would have whitened his teeth as well. So if you're going to go that route with his eye, then make it more comical with his mouth, because at the end of the day, where the shot is in his mouth. That's the funny part. So whiten that up and enhance that, and I would have chilled on the eyes, if that makes sense. Other thing that's a bit weird for me is I don't like that vignette at the back. I do like it because it makes it comical, but I think the lines are just a little bit too strong. I would have wanted it just to fade out a little bit more. But that's a really personal taste, man. I think the crop is cool. It works as a square. And dude, seeing your behind the scenes is like, holy shit, okay, again, you're killing, dude.
It's so fun.
It's very cool. And the lighting itself is incredible. And it's always good. I always tell people, if you wanna learn lighting, then light in different color gels just for yourself. Use whatever. Use a mannequin. Use whatever. But shooting with gels makes you understand where the different lights are falling. A lot of the time, people are just looking at the image, and it's like a wash, and it's like there's light from here, there's light from here. But if you look at Devon's shot like this, you understand exactly how many lights were involved, what's going on, and for me, it's a great tip. If you wanna start lighting. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Great shot, Devon. Well done, dude.
Pierre?
Pierre!
I'm really scared to say anything about Devon's stuff. I think he's going to come and ankle tap me any day because
I sent him your address. He's going to come hunt you.
Sorry, Devon, but I haven't released.
But I believe he's in Joburg, so you're safe, bro.
He's going to come and ankle tap me with an axe.
That's funny.
I'm a huge fan of Devon's work. He's been since the beginning of this challenge. He's been in the front line and just pumping out these amazing images week by week by week. I don't know how he did this narrow shoulders and big head, maybe with a very wide lens, so that you get that distortion. That's how I assume. But this is really a personal thing, and it's just because it's been used too much since LED lights has been on the market, and the magenta and that almost teal gels. Yeah, I said the same thing when Alan Sayers submitted his video.
Yeah,
He
it's
also did
that Blade Runner vibe. Blade Runner messed everything up for everyone. It's done so well, but now it's done.
Which the first Blade Runner you mean?
I don't know. I didn't see Blade Runner.
Oh, that's almost for you, video guy. You go watch.
I watch Sound of Music.
Watch the first one.
Oh wow, dude! Yeah, just leave the meeting, please, man.
Listen to the show now. You need to go watch it now.
No, I'm just it's not that it's bad light. It's just so fake. I don't know what the word is, but because I'm from a theater background. Now I come from theater, and we use hard lights with gels, and you have a number, and you put that exact number in front of the light to get your specific look. And when LED was introduced, it's almost there the whole time. Even the lights now in theater that's full on LED comes close, but it's not the real thing. And this magenta and that teal gel gives me that feeling. So it should warm it up on the one side and make it cold on the other side. But it's just that LED, artificial is the word I'm looking for, spoils it a bit for me. But I mean, Devon, please don't come and ankle tap me. I think it's a great photo. I would like to see it without that, and maybe a different choice in lighting on the side of your head. And he said that Photoshop to achieve the comical shape. Okay, so it was done in post.
Yeah.
Thank you, Devin. But it's an amazing photo, and I hope this photo lives on for a very long time.
Okay, I'm gonna move on, guys.
Yeah, guys, we are 2 hours in already, and I can't believe there's people still watching. We should. There's a guy I follow on YouTube, and when he crits videos, every time someone blows him away with something they did, he takes a tequila shot. I don't think we should do it, but it might get fun.
I'm actually going to look at this one on my screen now, so I can see it full screen.
This is Fransjo Ackerman with Winter.
I think it's. Look, my first impression is gorgeous. I think it's beautiful. I love he's obviously shot a smaller aperture because there's a lot of detail and depth and sharpness in this. I love the eyes. I love the texture under the man's eyes. I love where the scarf is sitting. The one thing that gets your attention straight away is that bit of backlighting, that bit of red. And it bothers me in two. So first of all, look, I love the image. I love the portrait. The expression is a very sad kind of like, the guy looks tired. His eyes are nice and blue, the way that the edit's brought it out. But that bit of red now on the back of the hat here, it feels to me like, what is that? Is that going to be like a firelight that's hitting it? Because it feels a bit bright. Would it have looked better if it was all around the way around behind his head, that backlighting? Or maybe if that backlighting was then perhaps bluer and maybe a little bit more subtle, toned down a bit, would that have worked? But the pieces of snow flying in front of his face, there's a good vibe to the cold in that. I'm just not sure what to make of that little bit of red tinge there. I'm looking at it again on my... Hey, I don't know, André, I'd love to hear what you're going to say about this. I like it. The atmosphere is there. The lighting, there's maybe that shadow on the side of his nose is maybe a bit too strong. Somehow the light could have moved slightly or been a bit higher up perhaps, just so as not to get that shadow. Yeah. The side. But that red light, I don't know what to make of the red light. That's what's getting me. Yeah,
look, man, I feel exactly the same. I think it's a great shot, dude. It's a very striking portrait. It's really, and you nailed the concept. Again, everything for me with portraits, it's in the eyes and it is there. You can see that emotion and I can almost feel the cold. But I totally agree with Tim with the hot light behind him. If that was gel blue, it would have, and not only gel blue, it's firing at about a stop too much. It's taking away from the eyes. So if you squint and look at the image, your eyes are going to the sides where that red is, where it should be going to the eyes of your subject. And that for me, if it wasn't for that, this would have been incredible. It's already incredible, don't get me wrong. Another thing that bugs me a little bit is the green. I would have just toned that to blue as well. Because if you look at the scarf, the tones are so nice. It's white and blues, and then all of a sudden you're hitting into green. So if you had everything in blue tones, specifically with his eyes being so blue, everything would have tied in way better. But I love the snow. The crop is good. Really nitpicking, but I would have maybe played around with the scarf a little bit. It is a little bit weird for me that it's just sitting under the nose. I don't know if, but I don't know if this would work. I would have maybe moved it up, moved it down a little bit, just play a little bit with that. And then this little line bugs me.
Which
For
line?
some reason, this over the eye.
Over the eye. I hate it when those things happen. Yeah,
It's
they're
not-
hard to see at the time, though. They're hard to spot when you shoot the photo.
Yeah, but
Well, I
the lighting is really great because using the harsh light is bringing out all these textures and wrinkles, and it's giving it a vibe. Amazing, man. I really, like Tim said, I wish that was blue, this backlight. But other than that, incredible shot, dude.
I'll play devil's advocate after Pierre. I've got an idea here. Pierre, what do you think?
Yeah.
No, I want to hear what you think first, and I want to try something.
When André and I spoke yesterday, I said that this image for me is standing out. This is right up my alley, and I love that clarity slider in Lightroom pushed up as far as you can go. It's a personal taste. For me, this photo will tell a different story every day. I don't know if a blue light at the back would have made a difference because it's a contrasting color. But André is the sensei here. I would really take his advice on it. I think it's a spectacular photo. For me, it's spectacular, and Francois was probably the first ISO challenge person to join, except for when we started as a Fuji film challenge, and then we decided to open it up. I think he was part because he shoots on an XT3, and just to see that where he is now already with his photos. I don't know if he has stuff like this prior to the challenge, but this is a spectacular photo, and we are friends on Facebook now, and I see that he brought out a whole series of portraits like this.
Oh, really? I would love to.
I think he should really share that with all of us.
Yeah, I would love to see that, man.
And just by looking at the comments, everybody, well, it's not a lot of people watching, but I think everybody enjoys this photo. I think what he tried to do, he really got right. It's still shot in lockdown, so I don't know if it's his dad or whoever, but it's the most craziest eyes. I mean, like those eyes can write a whole book. I love this photo. I think the light at the back works for me. I don't know if blue would. I don't know. I would like to see what it does, but yeah, I think it's for me. I love this photo.
I think, to be honest, the more I look at it, and it is, I hear what you're saying with the blue, but the blue would have tied this thing in way better. But the problem is just that backlight being so hot. And if that was a softer light source, but not hitting him from here, coming from the top down, feathering over him, that would have just separated him from the background, but in color. And it wouldn't have been so strong because now your eye is just going for this.
Look, I always lean towards storytelling. You guys know this, and it's my vibe. And this comment already is something. I mean, it tells a story, for this person, and the fact that a photo can tell something like that is quite cool.
Yeah, awesome. I think we've.
I want to just. Can I just be devil's advocate here, very quickly?
No.
Listen, I'll never get to judge again. I'm going to use my time here. This is my 15 minutes, 2 hours. I want to share. Can I share my screen quickly? Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just as a devil's advocate to this, okay, I've made it a little bit too bright actually on my edit here, but I think you'll get an idea what I'm off. Just my pointer. Can you see that?
Just there we go.
Got it?
Yeah.
So now
Sure.
that red's gone.
That's
and
a portrait.
It becomes about texture now. Now it's texture because he's lit it nicely.
Yeah.
I just want to wave the black and white flag here for a second.
No, but dude, this is incredible because
much of a difference,
the lighting on the shot is amazing. It's just the color that messed around, and now seeing this, I'm like, whoa, this is a shot. Wow.
So that's just cool. That's exactly the reaction I wanted. Thank you, André. Checks in the mail. But it's just a thing we get so absorbed with color in that, which is and these images are gorgeous in them. But just because I've spent a lot more time focusing on black and white, I've realized that certain things we just see so differently, and we pay more attention to man, there's a quote I had it in a presentation. I've forgotten who the guy was, but he said when you photograph in color, you photograph people's clothes.
Yeah.
When you photograph in black and white, you photograph their souls.
Souls, yeah.
And it's just, was it Ted? I want to say it's Ted somebody. Ted Grant. I can't remember now. But anyways, and that to me is, especially with portraiture, a beautifully lit portrait with texture in it, like this image has, is so powerful.
Yeah.
Andre, what will Fred?
Yeah, Fred makes a good point as well. Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you desaturate it, the thing is, your tones are gonna be tricky because of that red. If you can kill the red and have it blue, and then play with the desaturation, then you're gonna get something powerful. But then you also don't want to do the 80s thing with selective color. You got to be careful with that because
Fred, it starts to look like
red.
your images. So it's yeah.
If you can lose the red, are you Instagram filtering this now?
No, bro. This thing's doing its own thing. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna leave it.
So
it was Valencia, by the way. Valencia.
Was that all 5, or is there another one? I think that was
that's
it.
all 5. No, but this one's tough, eh?
Because I don't want to be you.
Okay, let me give you guys a run through quick.
Yeah, I mean they're all too. You see, there we go.
Hey, Andre, you're more.
No, Ben, I wasn't.
Okay.
I apologize, guys.
From my perspective, so the approach I've been working on. Let me just. I've got my winner, and I'll tell you why I'm going to pick it. So, what I've been trying to do with my work is to shoot as authentically and as in the moment as I can. So for me, especially with my wedding work, it means I have to be in the right position, anticipating people's reactions and guessing lighting because I'm not using artificial lighting at all. So I'm always moving around, and I've got to be quick in the moment stuff. There's no setup, and if I miss something, and you always miss something when you shoot documentary, you're always missing shots. Those are the ones that come back to me and haunt me for months and months later. So from my perspective as a photographer who tries to shoot like that, the image that impresses me the most is... Did you think it froze there?
Yes, I did. Thanks. Yo, that's so bad.
I was just like...
So no, it's Natalie's image. Natalie with the bird. For me, for somebody to think of that concept and then to take that poor dead animal and put it in all those positions and photograph it and then blend it so seamlessly, for me personally, is an amazing skill and a level of patience that I don't have. All these images are great, from Kirsten's shot with the White Walker that isn't a White Walker to martini shot with a gorgeous umbrella that was just 90 degrees to the wrong angle, to all of them. Devon shot, they're all fantastic shots. The last image, all of them. But this image here, just take those sleeves away and print it. Done. That image is gorgeous. No, I love it. I can't. The sleeves don't fault the image enough for me not to pick it. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's a sad, poignant story that's been told here. And like I said, for me, it works. It works in color and in black and white for me. I think it's tremendous. So yeah, that would be my winner.
Tim Moolman has spoken. Thank you
for the last time. Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Definitely not the last time. And I think this was an amazing session. I think we delved in a little bit deeper than what we went before when we went live. We said we're gonna run quickly through it, but it was just the images were so good that we couldn't just.
No, there's no way to go quickly. It's too good.
And I think everybody's doing a amazing job. Well, they did amazing jobs for the.
Everybody did. It's really hard, that's why I said I've got to. Let me pick it from my perspective as a photographer, because a lot of things I can kind of relate to, and some things mean more to me than others, or matter more. And the fact that the amount of effort that's gone into this to get the right tone, to get this lighting. So yeah, this is the image. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And
well done.
I would really
encourage
the rest of everybody to. You don't have to share photos or submit a photo only when there's a challenge. Please share it on the Facebook group, share it on the WhatsApp group. Ask opinions, because we have a lot of pro photographers on this group. That the information is wat is die soos Mastercard, you know, it's what's the word? Geld kan dit koop. So the information on this that you can get out of this group, priceless. Dankie Nikki. And by that,
clever assistant there.
No shame.
Why?
She's been keeping her mouth closed for the last 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yes, that was a long one.
That's how long. This is the longest one yet. But I think it was amazing. I think awesome. the amount of information that came out was spectacular. The participation of everybody on the back end was awesome. And we have another one left. Let's see if it has to be. It has to be.
Ooh, is it?
It has to be part of it.
Devin, we gotta
see.
Devin's still there. We gotta chat.
Maybe I'll just exit. No. Maybe it doesn't even exist. Yeah. So if you guys keep on bothering me about it, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, is that a threat?
I'm joking. Devin will really come and ankle tap me. So there's 2 more, Axe and War. Yes, Stefan, you are right. And by closing this off, Tim, thank you so much. I think
thank you so much,
you
man.
have been such an amazing judge.
Thanks,
it was amazing having you here. I hope we didn't keep the baby awake. And we'll see you back again.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for all the work that you guys have done. I'm sure all the photographers who watched really enjoy and appreciate the time you've taken to do this.
Videographers?
And the videographers. Yeah, man. Listen, I entered video
You did.
long time ago.
You did.
But yeah,
And we got it wrong. You had a weird lens, and we said the edge stop was all wrong.
Or the focus wasn't working. Yeah. No,
Maybe.
look, guys, you've done an amazing job, and I really appreciate that you value my input enough to have me on here. Thank you very much, and congrats to the winners and everybody, because the work that's coming out of this group is truly amazing. It's as good as it gets. It's wonderful stuff. Yeah.
Thank you,
guys.
Tim, brother. Thanks for helping us out.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you the next one, closing off the challenge, and then there's only one winner for that XT4, which I'm super jealous about, because I think it's the best camera I've ever handled. But okay.
Cool.
Until next time, Tim and André, just stay there. Let's just close this, and we'll see you guys soon.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.